And yeah, in this chapter, I want to demonstrating how to using this pretty interesting bigger water tower. Apply all the technique and the principle that we talked about previously. So yeah, basically I wanted to using the kind of element to just um, just to okay, well, for some reason it's becoming black. Well, anyway, I want to using this element to use it on our central tower. This I want to make it more uh had more detail, more interesting element. Basically I want to increasing adding well, I want to adding the big, medium, and small that relate to the tower. Yeah, but it's not always necessary to do, but I think it could be interesting to demonstrating like sometime we can just using a lot of existing element, but and just duplicating and apply on it, and we may get some interesting result. Of course, I think putting in this way, it sounds like I'm being lazy. Like, oh man, I just using sand element again. But actually it makes sense, right? Because they are belong sand universe. They are applying sand principles and the design mythology and the and also phone language. So of course they're going to be good fit for each other, and also we are according to the principle of like big, medium, small to determine like which place that we're going to placing new detail, right? So it's just we are trying to make this element to have more like a looks more dope, like some kind of main element. It's like you know um central element that had a more interesting element on it, and had more detail, just but yeah, but of course this is not like you, sh- you we should do it all the time. They're really depending on what kind of feeling you want to deliver. Obviously, adding more detail sometimes it could make this thing looks too refined. It's maybe we want to deliver this as some kind of who knows, a little bit brutalism, which is you know driven by logic and very rational idea, or also yeah, or we want because sometimes too many decoration, it just will make it well, like art deco, right? It's just maybe it's not something we want. They're really depending the style and the world you are building. But yeah, overall I think this is pretty interesting idea design on the, I think in the front of the central building, we adding another level of waterfall, and and I think I kind of quite like the very straight silhouette, so I removed the waterfall on the side. But who knows, I and another reason also is because I feel like again I noticed if I want to adding something on the side, so basically I feel like I may end up going to adding another or spend decent amount of time to do another visual development process, and I'm just kind of getting lazy. So yeah, I'm being very honest about it, and yeah, I going to next we're going to do is we finally going to adding something from this arch. I get inspired by this arch since the beginning, which is I feel like this could be some kind of water path, pathway for water. I kind of don't sure what's the proper name. By using array modifier, I guess you can. I think you can get what I'm saying. This is for sure is going. I think it's going to be interesting design. I wanted to not just array like toward to the phone. I wanted to bending the this element. It's like something I think also relate to water. The phone language the water brings us, which is nice. Um, it's like this very solid, strong stone fortress being bending, but at the same time, it means it got it dealing with the dynamic and the gravity better. I think, and also suggesting this architecture, this civilization had a really good um, uh, way to dealing and building their architecture. I think that's a nice and also very interesting idea to develop. And right now, also, oh sorry, by the way, the bending tool that I using is from quick tool from I think is also quick deform. But of course, in Blender, Blender got built-in bend tool. Very sorry for my Chinglish again, but um, I just and actually there's much not no not much difference. But I just feel like quick tool is just much easier to use in the user experience and the interface just much easier to approach. So now I just using a quick tool. So but if you don't have a quick tool, for sure you can just using a building bending modifier. And right now I'm doing something which is kind of going to be a failure also, which is I'm going to using another modifier in Blender called curve, and I wanted this pathway to follow this curve. So, but and you may notice like in the bottom of the colon is just not at what it's really not what I expect for. So, I think I going to, so that's why I decided using another modifier, which is, letter from quick default, which is something I used previously. I using this one to bring another level of, curvature. I think it's in Z axis. I want to make it vertically and have some kind of more interesting um, silhouette and shape and form. So, well, it's pretty self-explaining, right? It's like, verbally, it's hard communicating this kind of idea, but well, you see it, you get it, right? It's like, you know what I'm doing. And yeah, and also I one thing also very interesting because once um you design or you giving certain you play with the parameter of those modifiers, and next thing you can do simply just play with it. And I think this great way to design, because this is called non-destructive modeling, right? It's like you are not really changing the model, and you cannot redone it, but you apply the modifier. So you're giving the modifier to the model, so that when your model you still can changing your model, changing the position, changing a lot of things, and your model will just, oh right, I just giving this arch more segment by using the hard objects. I think it's called dice. There's a feature called dice, which is can give model more segment to make it easy to being modified by this modifier. And yeah, I think I really like this approach because well, it's also part of, I think this also giving us a great opportunity to continually push the visual development, to do more, to develop more. Because if you do something and you cannot, later on you got another idea, sometimes you just, it could be a time consuming, or sometimes you could be lazy, or sorry, maybe you won't be lazy, but I know I would, because even without it, I'm being very lazy, so but so I decided just not giving myself too many opportunity to being lazy, which is finding the easy workflow, using any add-on to just, super great, super easy to use, and also using this non-destructive modeling process. So I later on, when I feel like I want changing something, I can always go back and changing it, and also, those modifiers still apply on it, so I get the freedom to tweak things. And also I think we can still also making waterfall from this pathway, um, pathway, because they're water pathway, right? So Yeah, this is something, is I'm applying the same this principle, like I previously talked about it. Right now I'm adding another level of contract between material and shape and form, and of course, the guideline for me to design the water pathway is also because from something I talked about previously, right? Shape and form language, and flow, gesture, big, medium, and small, and also apply the water form language. So I tweak it, I bend it. So right, it's just all the thing combined together. It's complicated, for sure, because it is. But you know, you know, when I do this, I also feel pretty complicated. That's why I feel like I need to really summarize all the process that that I can follow, because otherwise I would be just like, man, what's next? What should I do, right? Um, so yeah, I think this pretty much the result. I'm pretty happy about it. And next thing I think also we got pretty nice, even without the 2D touch in Photoshop or a lot of post effect. Overall, I think the grouping is pretty cool, which is something which is something in this picture, like by value grouping I mean this black foreground, gray midground, and the light background. The value grouping is another very important thing to deliver a very effective concept painting. So yeah, right now I'm simply just very happy about the result, and I think next what we're going to talk is multi-point pass compositing and render setting, those kind of things. So yep, see you in the next chapter.